Welcome to the behind the scenes smoke bomb special. I never thought I'd have to say those words. Basically, there's kind of two ways to do them. The one is to create this nice ambient kind of background smoke. And two is to get something bright and colorful and just get like right up in everybody's face with it. Completely depends on the couple and completely depends on the vibe of the day. I am never really just randomly bringing these to my weddings and events. If the couple comes up with it, they want to do it, I'm happy to include it. But otherwise, it's not part of my daily workflow. In fact, I've only really done it twice at weddings. I think I've done about 700 weddings total now. So if that puts any sort of perspective into it. Also, make sure you practice with these before because they happen really fast and you don't really want to be fumbling around too much on the actual wedding day. So go out into the world and try this with a model or with one of your friends first before you actually bring it to the wedding day. I do really like the randomness of smoke bombs. Sometimes they just kind of consume the entire scene and it seems really cool in your camera. And then you get home and you're like, oh, that's not as cool as you thought it would be. So always err kind of on the side of a little bit less when possible and keeping the couple out of the smoke. Otherwise their faces are just obscured and it's a little too much. The best place to find these is I found at paintball stores. There's one or two in town and they always have them in stock. So if you're looking for them in your city, find a paintball store and you'll probably find some smoke grenades. Can I move you guys over this way? Just take a walk through the smoke. Maybe I can't see anything. That looks really good. Perfect. That looks great. Yeah, you can look at each other. One thing I would recommend that I didn't do here is should have been using a 7200 like I was using in the first example, where I have a lot of ways to zoom around and create a lot of different compositions very easily. I find that a lot of these compositions from my camera look the same. I did have a second photographer and I also had a video person there. So we did overall get a lot of different variation, but myself personally, I could have done better. Also, maybe as a general rule of practice, make sure your liability insurance is up and good. Because if you leave this on, the smoke bombs themselves get really hot. So if you leave it on dry grass, there's a pretty good chance it's going to start a fire. So in this case, I've kind of found the dirt near a tree and I've kind of put it in there because I know that if I heat up some dirt, it's not a big deal. But if I burn out some grass, maybe the venue is going to be a little bit upset or worst case, maybe it starts a fire of some sort. Today, there's pretty much no wind, which is awesome. Even a little bit of wind causes a lot of problems whenever you're doing this. That's good there. And you can be... Actually, that looks really good. That's perfect. And you guys want to hold hands and walk this way here? And you can just look at each other and you don't have to smile or anything. I'm definitely overshooting just because I want to make sure that I'm getting all the movement of the smoke, and I don't know if I'm going to build layers later in post-production or what I'm going to be doing. Here we found, I think, the best spot, kind of backlit with the darker, more contrasty smoke, and I really like it. I really am kind of looking for a very specific image from this, which is why I'm making them kind of do the same movements a few times. I know they're only going to use maybe 1, 2, or 3 of these images. Their entire wedding album isn't going to be smoke bomb images, so I really want the perfect shot. That's awesome. And if you want to put both arms around each other, get really close for a couple here. And you can almost put your foreheads together. The presets that I'm using are part of my actual, my destination wedding presets that went up last week in Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, you get them. They're included along with my 2018, 2019, and all of my other preset packs. And also your support over there really does help me be able to create more content like this for you guys on YouTube, as well as all the stuff that's locked down in Patreon. And this is me switching to my 24mm lens, which is a little bit too wide for the scene. 85 a lot better. You can really kind of isolate the couple against the smoke. All right, so hopefully that gave you a bit of an insight into what it's like actually like working with smoke bombs rather than just seeing the final images. A lot more challenging to work with. And you're going to see another behind the scenes video of these two. We're actually in Italy, Amalfi Coast later next week. So stay tuned for that. Tomorrow, got a full wedding day coming up, so get excited. And then Wednesday, a big sale on my Book More Weddings 2019 program. So stay tuned for that. See you tomorrow.